Right, I'll pop up. I think Sarah must have some problems. Yeah. So I should think I'll pass it over. I'm not quite geared up this end. Let's have a look and see who's on. Let's see, there's mics to follow from Sarah. So I'll pass it over to you then, Mike, and it gives me an opportunity to ask you a question, being you're testing this DATV. Does it have a audio level meter on either the transmit or the receive? Particularly on the receive, I was interested. Right, if so, I'll pass it over to you with a pause in case Sarah's able to pop up. From Golf 8 Kilo Oscar Echo.
Okay. Yeah, Savo doesn't seem to be on, so I don't know if he's had some issues or what. I'm not seeing him on the chat either. But I didn't come up, just gave him a few minutes to come on, but he didn't. So there you go. Right. Good afternoon, everybody, to the worldwide net. Quite a few of us on today, but we were expecting Savo to run this. But anyway, the order, as far as I can see, is Savo, then myself, then Martin, J8 KOE, then Leon, ZS1 Mike, then Peter, GW7BZY, Ed, PY2RN, and Keith, GU6EFB. So I'm using SDR TV that Simon Brown, famous for SDR console, has developed, and I'm using it for transmit and receive. And hopefully we've got rid of quite a few of the issues that were plaguing it beforehand, so let's see. Just looking, I'm receiving it. You asked about, does it have an audio level meter? Actually it doesn't, Martin. What it has is the audio spectrum. So you can see the audio spectrum on both transmit and receive. A meter that says it's 1 dB below peak level. I don't have that, but no doubt that's the sort of thing that could be a request. Yeah, you can see it in the graph. You can see if it's good or not. You can see your spectrum response. I was going to maybe look at it, but I'm not sure this will work. It might do. Just give me a second, because I've got it running here, but I haven't yet got it into the position where, yeah, okay. So if I show you this slide, maybe that gives you an idea. Right. Okay. I don't really have much else to say. It's just been testing this all week. It's been a good week. I've been busy, and next week is also going to be busy. Finally, Radcom turned up yesterday after everyone else has had it for a week. I don't know where it had been hiding. And DATV stuff appears 3 times in that, which is good. We've got a picture of Colin's van and a picture of Rob M0DTS's van, just sort of sneaking in there. And we've also got the mini tuner and the ports down as projects that they're not in there, they're just mentioned as actually holding up the construction part of the hobby and innovation, so that's good. And now we're working on the software side as well. So all very good indeed. I don't know if you're ready yet, Martin. I see you put up the net, but you're next on the list. If you are ready, I'll pass it over to you. If you're not, I'll pass it over to you anyway. So G8 KOE, G0MJW, around to you.
G0MJW, G8KOE. Well, that's interesting. Let's see what we've got. Now, I was running Winterhill, OpenTuner Winterhill, and I don't think it likes the signal you're putting out. It locked it up totally. I've had to reboot it. Well, I say reboot it. I haven't had a chance to restart it, which I will start. I'm probably the only one that's suffering the problem. No, it's not happy. No, that's probably my end. The ride was happy, but usually I've had proc errors on VLC in it, but I don't know. I'm totally confused. And thanks for putting on the list. I'd got it half here and one thing or another. Right, I will continue on and try and get the receive side going for perhaps the next round. But I hadn't even realised there was so many other stations that come on. But I'm streaming it as well on my little system. Anyway, during the week on the SRT repeater that I play with, I've been having problems with the streaming using the Zoe box to the BATC. I think we've cured that by updating the firmware in the Zoe box encoder. That seems to have sorted that out. The other thing that managed to organise was with Rob, VK3IE, and Keith, GU6EFB. Rob was having some questions to do with the ports down, DATV Easy, etc. And it was far easier to link the two of them together, and using the All-Star Talkback and the SRT, I think Keith managed to demonstrate most of the things. I think it's been in conversation since, and has sorted out the problems. That worked out well. The other thing I've been playing with today is the SDR console V3, which I hadn't sort of thought of using it with the SDR Play OSPDX, which is the piece of kit that I've got this in, and I must admit it looks really nice. I haven't had a chance to get all to the ins and outs of it, but quite humoured with that. It's a very nice display to my poor tired eyes. Anyway, probably you asked about the audio. Yeah, I've always thought it'd be nice to have a standard somewhere that you could get an idea of whether you're in the ballpark figure. It's something I'd sort of asked in the past for on various receivers, but never got there. But it'd be nice to sort of say, well, I'm running this, I can do this, and it gives me a meaningful indication. I don't know what the meaningful indication should be, but anyway, right. I'm going to pass on to Leon because I'm sort of operating on a very not working station at the moment, but hopefully we're getting through. And I'm not monitoring the chat because the chat was connected up with OpenTuner chat I was using, but I can use a different chat, can't I? If I click on the that one just to make sure there's nothing no band transponder. Yeah, I have to read that. There's nothing urgent, I think. So I'll pass it over to you there, Leon, and perhaps you can bring some order to the proceedings because it's just been a bit chaotic here. So over to Leon from G8KOE.
Okay, thanks Martin, and very good morning, afternoon and evening to everybody online and streaming and whatever. Okay, Mike, some feedback. You dropped out twice where you just went blank, but otherwise it was fine, but I can immediately see it's not your regular kit. Static stuff in the background and things that don't move nice and sharp, everything is nice. But where your face moves when you're talking, it goes blocky, blocky, blocky. You know, like when we were still playing with the ports down and those things, or in the beginning of this system. Well, not the one that we're using now. The very first Pluto system had lots of blockies and things. Now you've got the same now, only on the bits that move. The static parts are quite good. But you definitely the same as last week when you were testing it. It just goes off, and then after a few seconds, it just comes on again. Okay. Otherwise, I'm very busy at work as well. But you RF guys, Mike, especially you, I'm desperately looking for a small UHF receiver. But the trick is it must be wideband, the IF. It must be able to accommodate like 50, 60 kcs deviation in the audio. I've tried all over. I've scanned the internet. I'm not successful. You know, these little cheapy Baofengs, this is a UHF Baofeng. It easily programs onto the UHF frequency where I wanted, 428 megs. But it only does narrow band, you know, normal 2-meter type ham type voice communication. So I thought, okay, I'll open it up and see if I can get the first IF out and have my own little IF strip with demodulator. What a surprise. There's nothing RF in this thing. There's 3 chips. I think the one is the audio, the speaker amplifier. The other one is a microprocessor of which they ground off the number. And the other chip has got a number, and I got the specs for it. It is a complete UHF / VHF transceiver. Although this thing is UHF only, but the bigger, I know the bigger Baofengs are VHF / UHF. So this is a very clever little chip. I don't know how you program it. Via the micro, of course, you just plug in the stuff and you program it with chip. I'm looking for something like this. Just receive only, it's all I need. And only single channel, just 428 megs. But it must be wideband FM. In the past, I used those little receivers that you plug earphones in, and when you have a group of people, I don't know what you call it, and the leader, the guy who's showing whatever, has got a transmitter and a mic, and everybody else has got these little receivers. Worked perfectly, but you don't get them anymore. Oh, you get newer versions, but not changeable at all. So anything UHF that I can get onto 428 megs, single channel, but it must be wideband deviation, like normal FM radio. So I'm desperately looking for something like that, or just the chip that I can build something. I can add a little filter in the front, you know, for better image rejection and so on, but it doesn't need to have fantastic specs. But it must be small. This thing, the actual PC board inside is very tiny, and it includes a 5-watt transmitter. But there's nothing on. The only RF bit is the output filter, the harmonic filter. There's a couple of tiny little coils and chip caps. For the rest, there's nothing that remotely looks like RF. And yet the audio quality is not bad at all for, you know, for a walkie-talkie, for a communication thing. So please, anybody who can help. Right, Peter, I give it to you. I have to run again, so I'll maybe listen one round, but then I'm not coming back. So, I forgot your call sign. Something, wada. Peter, take it from ZS1, Mike.
ZS1. ZS1.
communication. I'm still persisting with. I've got a new radio, Leon. I know you'd approve. It's DMR, but actually modern DMR, AMBI plus. I added the extra plus. Is very good. The audio quality is exceptional, I'd say, and certainly much better than it used to be in the old days when I had a little hotspot that warbled away, and with the old MD 380s. TYT 380s, what I think I had that previously, and it was terrible. Am I moving or am I stationary? I'm looking a bit stationary on my end, but I don't know whether that's a receiver error or is it. I mean, I've just turned the receiver off and reboot it. It's not. I'm looking forward to an alternative, Mike. There, I saw some talk. Why would you want in the chat? Well, you know that we can't build stuff, etc. And the software only it's not the answer. But there again, it might be more reliable. I was hoping for reliability, Mike. Is what I'm hoping for from the new kit if it comes about. That I get a go on it. You were fine to me. It was perfect. My question would be, does it work with vMix? That's my interest really. Is it going to work okay? I'm sure it will, but I'm hoping you're going to confirm that with your next over, that I can work it with vMix. Then I'll be happy. You know, dig on da is dig on da. Good enough is good enough. As regarding blocking, etc. I don't know how that video is coming out now. It's coming down for the NVIDIA hardware encoder. I think adding a larger group of pictures helps a lot with the video quality. If it might cause a problem, if you get a dropout, you get a long grey screen, but otherwise it works fine. Good enough, right? Big on that. Good picture from Martin there. Excellent stuff, and then of course I can't help you there, Leon, with your FM receiver. Unfortunately, I don't know. There's quite a lot of DMR, little SDR radios available now. Are quite small and you know, far more flexible. So that might be an option for you. With that, I'm going to hand it round. You can, by the way, I was demonstrating that, and I was going to say I am listening to the DMR BATC talk group, which is strangely called BATC TV TV talk ATV talkback. So there we are. Anybody want to call me on that? I'd be appreciated. From GW7BZY 222 PY2RN. I haven't got a test card, so I'm just going to go fade to black.
All right, that's it, guys. That was a short one. Let me see, my audio is okay. Yeah, I believe so. Mute myself. Golf Whisk 7 Bravo Zulu Yankee. This is Papa Yankee 2 Radio November. Thank you. Hello, Martin. G8 QOE, thanks for jumping on to start the net. I think, yeah, Saro may have some problem, or I think it's too late for Saro in India now. I have no idea, but I believe it's late. Anyways, hope everything okay there. For Mike, Golf Zero Mike Juliet Whiskey, excellent copy. I just realized one gap during your transmission, quick gap. But it recovered quickly. No, not a big issue. For Leon, I couldn't help also for the for the handheld. I do have a couple of DMR handhelds here. Since we're talking about handhelds, yeah, that's. You should get one, Leon, one of these. You're gonna love the audio of this thing. Let me show you the audio. You're gonna love it. Hold on.
Hello, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. Hello, test, DMR test. Special audio for Zulu Sierra 1 Mike. He's gonna love this audio.
Yeah, that's the DMR. It's I don't know, the newer one that you know, Peter just showed maybe can provide a better audio, but those old ones, I have those old ones. I have this one, I have also this one, and those are the old ones. Anyways, it's always good to get. I don't know what is the BATC talk group number. I don't know if I knew I could connect it to that group, but I'll try to find out. Yeah, I see Keith Golf Uniform 6 Echo Fox Bravo is also using SDR-TV. That's great. I watched his presentation on the BATC net. That's great. And by the way, I'm streaming to the BATC. I think I am. Yes, I am. Streaming to the BATC Facebook timeline. If you have Facebook, there is a BATC group on that, and it's being streamed besides the YouTube. And I do have problems starting streaming to the original YouTube channel. It takes forever to start streaming there. That's the reason. So, okay, that said, I'm gonna pass to Keith. Golf Uniform 6 Echo Fox Bravo. This is Papa Yankee 2 Radio November. With you, Keith.
No, that might be better. Yeah, we seem to have some audio. Very good afternoon, everybody. And thanks there, Ed. Nice transmission from you. Did have a few audio problems just towards the end, but I'm not sure if that was me or if that was something your end there. But like Mike, I'm testing the SDR-TV software. A few things I've been talking to Simon about, but in general it's working flawlessly. So I think Peter was mentioning no or little construction other than software. So if I get this right, I think I showed this the other week, busy building my ports down, which is coming along. It's got the tuning knob and various bits and pieces, so
showing the wrong camera, sorry. The Linkstone element of it all works and stuff like that. So yeah, it's all working really nicely. Having lots of fun with the SDR TV, and the demonstration last Thursday for DATV Net was a bit ad hoc. I'd only had the software for a few hours, and I was surprised it even worked, let alone as well as it did. And not to anything wrong with the software, just me getting used to using it. But Mike had nice pictures, and I didn't really notice any issues with it breaking up or anything. I'll put it round to you there, Martin. G8 KOE and the group from GU6EFB.
Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, it's organised chaos, this end. I've forgotten it was coming back to me. Well, I suffered with lots of problems on your signal in VLC, in Open Tuner. I get lots of. It was frozen on the VLC window. I was trying to open up something to sort of attempt to sort of. That's it. Go there. And right. The errors I was getting, which I'll were those. They're constantly scrolling up on the VLC that you can monitor side of things. So non-stop. The other three were okay, but it was frozen on the VLC. I just about got to VLC in DATV Red, and I think you were frozen as well. Monitoring on the ride, which is also doing the stream that I'm streaming, is okay. So let's get back to me. Totally not in control. Let's see. That's the. So it won't be Leon. It'll be back to Peter in a minute. That's right. He says trying to get some sense of where I am. Anyway, it's organised chaos, and thanks again to Keith for doing his little bit on my little SRT repeater, which is fairly quiet. I don't really have a lot more to add because it's I'm sort of unprepared. I could play various videos and things and stuff, but I think it's probably safer to throw it round to Mike again, because he'll be prepared, and so you can have a nice long over. So I'll put a test card and you can take it away there, Mike. G8 KOE.
That was a useful. Seems to be working for me, but I might be getting a few freezes as well now. It's been running for a while. Maybe something got a bit overflowish, but no, it's working really well. Yeah. So the receiver I was talking about was the Malahit one, the DSP2. That will do it, but it's it's not cheap. So it depends what you want. It doesn't transmit, only receive. But it does give you a spectrum view, and it will do wide other sort of things. But there you go. We could maybe talk about that in greater depth. if you're looking for something for doing sort of data at 428 megahertz, there are modules that are designed exactly for that, and I think that's what is in the thing that the hotspot that Martin was talking about. And I've got one of those downstairs as well. It's a little module that you program with I2C, and it works on the 77s band, transmit and receive. And it does various things, and I don't know what the limited bandwidth of that is or not, but it's a possibility, I guess. But most things will do, this is what I was talking about, the caching. They'll do spectrum and things. I don't know if they'll do wideband FM. They might if you fiddled with the firmware. But I don't think they do it as standard, because who needs it? Nobody uses that. They'll do SSB and AM and FM, but not wideband FM. Okay, just a few other things. One interesting thing I tried yesterday with SDR TV was, and this is really to do with the Libra SDR rather than SDR TV, was it managed 16 megahertz bandwidth before it started to fall over on receive only. Doesn't do that on transmit yet, but it does it on receive, which means you can receive the whole transponder, receive in inverted commas, because you can't do anything with it, but you can get a bit of it and receive a TV signal from it. But that's remarkable, the bandwidth that you can get on there, so that's really encouraging. That's connected via Ethernet though, not via USB. If you're connected via USB, it is very much more limited. And noted on the dropouts, so maybe you can put what those dropouts were in the chat, Martin, at some point, or put a picture of them, because I think the image you showed, I don't think Simon will see that, but it could be, it could be something to do with things being in the wrong order, or the wrong spacing, or things being unexpected. So we'll see. But Keith, incidentally, was okay until he swapped camera, and then I lost him for a second. But I suspect that was an OBS issue rather than a TV issue. The other thing, vMix, I don't see any reason why not, but it depends what vMix's virtual camera is. So it might work, it might not. But nobody uses vMix because, obviously, to get the high definition with a sensible number of inputs, you have to pay for it. So I think that's a problem that mostly only you are having, Peter. I guess what you could do is you could run vMix's virtual camera, receive it in OBS, and then output all of that from OBS. That'd work. You wouldn't have to use OBS for the switching. You could just have to use it for doing things like virtual cameras. Was there anything else I was going to mention? I don't think there was, actually. But Simon is very nearly ready to transmit. He's sorting out his uplink station now. So that'll be interesting. We'll see. And Leon, why is the picture worse? Well, several reasons why it's worse. One is because it's a lower resolution. The other is because it's not using all those tricks in the NVIDIA codec that we've worked out over time. But I know that Simon is thinking about maybe using the FFmpeg codecs at some point with all the tuning facilities that has in it. But at the moment it's just the standard codec, so that's why it's looking blocky. You're right, it's not as good as it was before, but it's got half the latency for a start. And one of the ways that the NVIDIA codec improves the latency is by looking at a large period of frames and processing it and sending it over time. It does give you extra latency, but it does reduce the data requirements. So yeah, it's working pretty well, I think, anyway. But the transmit side isn't really the major thing. It's nice, but it's the receive side. It receives with software, no mini tuner, nothing. Even with an RTL dongle, you can receive TV on a TV stick first time. Well, not quite, but you know what I mean. It's easy to use. That's the other thing. So you don't have to transmit. Right. I guess we carry on in the same order. So I'll pass it on to Ed. Ed, at the end of your transmission, I don't know if it was SDR radio, but I tried also on VLC. Your audio sort of broke up. I got a buzz on one receiver and very lots of crackly sort of audio on the other. So I don't know if you've exceeded the bandwidth too much through it, possibly. Right, pass it round to you. Over to you, Ed. G0MJW.
I see my audio is cracking. My audio is cracking. I cannot fix it now. I cannot fix it now because all the streaming is probably gonna go down because I have to restart OBS. OBS must be restarted. Yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem. I mean, Windows gets very confused when you use a lot of USB ports to do a lot of tasks. So it keeps switching USB stuff, and you listen to that sound of disconnected and connected. I don't know what Windows is doing, so I apologize for my cracking audio. So I'm gonna be very brief and pass back to Keith. Golf Uniform. Mike, I got few gaps on this last transmission from you, but very quick. Golf Uniform 6 Echo Fox Bravo. If you can understand me, I'm passing to you, Keith. This is Papa Yankee 2 Radio November.
Yeah, November from GU6CFB. Okay, Ed, yeah, copied you all there, no problems. With a bit of crackly audio. Turn the POC errors on OpenTuner here, so not quite sure why, but I think I might be running a different version of VLC to you, because it did tell me there was an update the other day, so I updated it. And it works for me.
Also suffering with the same errors.
This was OpenTuner, yeah. Sorry, Martin. OpenTuner. No POC errors here anyway.
QO-100.
Yeah. Well, so I'm sure whatever is going on, Simon will get to the bottom of it. But to get where he's got to is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to have to go and pick up the granddaughters shortly because they're still out cycling, but it's just started to rain. So I can see I'm going to get a phone call in a minute to hop in the van and go around and pick them all up and bring them back. So I wish everyone 7.3s. Hopefully, Mike, the audio's a bit lower this time. I'm still getting used to all the settings. I've been swapping between everything. So I suppose it's back round to you then, Martin, just to tie the ribbons on it. G8 KOE from GU6 CFB.
Right, let's go over to me. I tried both OpenTuner and PicoTuner. PicoTuner was more stable. Funny enough, it's I've got the sound coming back. I need to mute it somewhere. Let's mute it down here and everything. Then I'll mute it down there and I'm safe. Yeah, PicoTuner was more stable, but when you cut to the test card, there was POC errors totally just scrolling up the screen. Yeah, I've done 2 screen grabs there, Mike. I'll try and I'll send them to you. It's the easiest thing. I'm sort of totally, or I might grab some more at another time and do it a bit more scientifically. I'm having, I must admit, problems with the Winterhill, the OpenTuner Winterhill client, locking up. That could be totally this end, but I used the VLC in DATV Red, which I suspect is possibly a different version. I don't know, and that was happier. That's at one stage it did lock up, but I don't know. There's too many variables. But anyway, it's been an interesting net. And yeah, your sound was all crackling. I hid there, and I got the nasty noise as well. I wonder what was going on. Anyway, it's proved that things can happen. I don't think there's any. Look, see if I can find the chat. I've lost the chat. He said, "Impressed demo, Keith. Audio perfect now. Yeah, the audio was good. In fact." Yeah, I saw the pictures earlier were actually brilliant. And yeah, to you then, Mike, that little module you were suggesting probably would be good. Was it the SA818? I think there's quite often some cheapy ones on sale. There were the other day when I looked, just the module and the information when they used them on the original node sort of setup, going way back. Yeah, it's 818. Yeah, the Hamvoid site has information when they used them as well. But I suppose from the data sheet you can get it all. But right, I don't know what to add really. But anyway, sorry that Sarah had some problems. I don't know what the problems were, but I expect they'll all come to mind. I'm not quite sure what's happening next week. Don't think anybody knows, but I'll try and keep an eye on things during the week and see if we can find out. If we find out something, I'll get someone to post it up on the forum. I'm not actually a member of the forum because I tend to avoid all those sort of things. It takes up too much time. But anyway, it's just don't think there's much more to add other than to thank everybody that did pop up and overcome all the technical problems. And for streaming wise, I use the encoder box, which at the moment I'm streaming SRT and to the BATC on JKOE. That's the SRT repeater, and I'm streaming from the laptop this time up to I can stream all three from the one Zoe box as such, and that seems to work quite well now. But on that note, I'll say 7 threes to everybody, and thanks for everybody that made it possible, and see you next week. JKOE, I suppose what I could do is to I'll play out with the music. I suppose we didn't start with the music. I think I've got it somewhere. So there's 7 threes, and I think we've got the music there. And see you all next week. JKOE closing the worldwide net. Right, let's turn that down. Okay then, Mike, I understand you're going to pop up with the old system. I will see what I can test. 7-3s to all. Jake Carey, closing down for now.
Okay, thank you, Martin. So this is the original system, and I don't know, it was a very big carrier suddenly appeared at 500 kilohertz with impressive shoulders. It's gone now. Yeah, so this is what I was running before. So it's not SDR television, it's the script with the 6-second latency. And what I will do is I'll go over to, ooh, no, not me, there we go. That's the desktop of SDR TV, and I think you can probably see it there in the window, showing various things that are going on. Well, it's receiving me, but I'm going to stop it receiving me. And I noticed there's a 500 kilosymbol signal on one of the first channels, so I'll just select that and see if it can demodulate that. Might not, depends what it is. Oh, it's Chris with his bird cage there. So that's how hard it is to operate. And actually, if I just take away this extra window here, it gives you a bit of a wider view. And then I'm going to stop that, and this might cause eruptions with my own transmission because I want to use a lot of bandwidth here, but I'm just going to stop. I won't go for 16 megahertz, but I will go for and with a bit of luck, you can now see the whole transponder, and you can do pointing and clicking. So there's a 1 mega sample signal here, for example, which we could look at and see what that is. Oh, it's gone, so we can't see what that is, or was. We'll go back to that 500 kilohertz one and see Chris again. It'll lock up in a second. Or we could go to the beacon, but the beacon is misbehaving at the moment, as I guess you can see. So, you know, not too hard to use. Several enhancements required, of course, but there's lots here that you select your camera here, and it will select all the cameras you've got on your device, so that's your choice. So if I had vMix, maybe it would work. Unfortunately, I don't know if any of this will show up on. No, you see, selection windows don't show up unless you're doing a screen grab, and I'm using a window grab, so sorry about that. I could probably fix that, but we'll not do it now. Up the top, you can select all of your audio input, whatever you want, and there are various setting windows, which again I won't show you. That allow you to set, for example, what codec you want, or whatever other thing you might want to use. There's a lot of information here as well in the receive window. So on this side is the receive window. We're not transmitting at the moment because we're using a wide bandwidth, so it's transmitting from something else, just from the Pluto, and hopefully it's still working. But you can see all the status in this window about what you're receiving or what they're transmitting, and you can look at the things like the bit rates, the number of nulls, how much FEC is needed to receive the signal, what the rate is, and you can put in various different filters and things. So quite a useful capability. I'm going to see if I can receive Chris again. Let's see if it. Yeah, there we go. So there's Chris. There is sound with this, by the way. I've just muted it, and I'll unmute it. And well, there's no sound with Chris, so that won't make a noise. But the other thing you can do is you've got a sync offset here, which you can fiddle around, which sets the difference between the transmit and the receive timing. So if you've got lip sync out on receive, you can adjust it and make it the right thing, and you can do that on the transmit side as well. There's a control for the transmit side, so you can get that aligned. Right, that's probably enough of that. Everyone's going to be wanting to go and get their tea, stroke breakfast, stroke go to bed. So 7-3 everyone, G0MJW, working out how to switch this thing off and showing a test card. There we go.
Yeah, thanks there, Mike. That was interesting of what receivers worked and what didn't work, and some receivers that wouldn't receive you now receiving me, and vice versa. Totally confused. I'm going to close. I've got so many windows open because I had FFmpeg open from so I don't know. Oh, I'm breaking up now in so I don't know. It's probably my end. I'm trying to do too much on the PC or something. Things are colliding. Anyway, funny enough, the ride receiver coped pretty well, which you can obviously see from the stream. Anyway, I'll close the stream down, and the video will be up on my site. Anyway, 7 3s. I'm going to go and sit in a dark room and get less confused.